I'm Brad Price. I grew up in Poor Valley going to Maple Hill Missionary Baptist Church all my life. And all throughout my life they would have the Bradley reunion every fall. And Maple Hill and Pilgrim's Rest and different churches from around the community would meet on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and have a little family revival. And this would happen every year. And my best friend Travis Lapp had gotten saved a few months before me. And ever since he had gotten saved and since my grandmother passed away, I'd felt the need to be saved, but I didn't really know for sure if I was lost until I went to my grandmother's funeral. And Glenn Bradley was one of the preachers that held the funeral. And I'll never forget, he said just before he closed out the funeral, he came down from the pulpit and walked in front of my dad and my family, and he said, "Children and grandchildren, if you ever want to see this lady again," he said, "you must be born again." And I'd heard that all my life, but it never really sank in until that moment. And I wallered that for probably another 2 to 3 months. And when they had the revival meeting out in Poor Valley on a Saturday night, church hadn't even got good and started yet, preaching hadn't happened or anything, but conviction, I know, was all over me. And several people had came to talk to me and asked me if I'd wanted to be saved, but I was just too scared to make a move. And I'd always growed up looking to Scott Bradley as kind of a hero of mine, and he and Jerry and different ones were singing before preaching, and I saw Scott go to put his bass down, and I knew that he was coming to talk to me. And he came and talked to me and asked me if I wanted to be saved, and as a 7-year-old boy I made my way to the altar. I gave my heart and life to him at Maple Hill, and for that I'll always be grateful and thankful. And I've not always treated that exactly how I should have, but the Lord reached down in mercy and grace and saved me, and I'm so thankful for that. 2020 has been a rough year for many people, the worldwide, but especially for our church. It's hindered our fellowship, but we have been so lucky to have the singing park that we could go to. And John had said something the other day that we didn't really have to miss a service at all because we didn't have bad weather or anything. And I'm so thankful for JH and all the Cross and North family for allowing the church to be able to use that property up there, because over the course of the summer, in a matter of 4 to 5 weeks, all 3 of my sons, 2 of them made their way to the altar there at the singing park and was saved, and the other one at home. And they all 3 had the privilege of being baptized in the creek in front of J.H. Cross's house. And I know that'll forever be a memory that will live on in their hearts, and a blessing to be able to share that at that special place where there's been so many people blessed throughout the years with the singings and with our church events that we've had up there. Going up there to visit now is going to be a lot more sweet to know that 2 of my children were saved up there.
A little more like mercy, a little more like grace, a little more like kindness, goodness, love and faith, a little more like patience, a little more like peace, a little more like Jesus, a little less like me.